Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody. Hello, beautiful ghouls. Welcome. This is Brandy. I'm here with my sister, Jody.
Hello.
Okay, so we're going to start off with... Man, why do I always forget Beautiful Beast segment? I always forget what it's called. Okay, so we're going to do spooky dog stories. And Chris, will start with her hometown, Chicago, Illinois. Graceland Cemetery is one of the older cemeteries in Chicago. In the cemetery, there is a vault belonging to Ludwig Wolf. He was a German immigrant and coppersmith, and his unique vault is said to be haunted. One of the ghosts is a green-eyed dog that howls near the vault. No one is certain whether this was Wolf's dog or the spirit of some other wayfaring canine. That's creepy. I wonder if its eyes glow because it said green-eyed dog. And usually spirits only come out at night, so if they saw green eyes, I wonder if they glowed or something. That's creepy. Next one is from Nashville, Tennessee. In Nashville's Belmont-Hillsboro neighborhood, a good-hearted boxer keeps vigil over young trick-or-treaters. The story says Preston the dog accompanied some trick-or-treaters when he saw a boy trying to pick up candy he dropped in the road. Preston saved the boy by knocking him out of the path of a speeding car, but Preston was hit.
Aww.
Now, every Halloween for the last 50 years, children have invariably reported being bumped onto the sidewalk when they step into the road while trick-or-treating or go too slowly from house to house. Aww.
So sweet.
It is. Preston, the dog. Okay. Next one, Port Tobacco, Maryland. The blue ghost dog of Portland Tobacco is said to be the oldest ghost dog in America. Ghost story. The story dates back to the 1700s. The story says Charles Howard Sims was attacked by a man after a night of drinking and bragging about the amount of gold he had. Sims went down swinging, and with him was his dog, believed to be a blue tick hound or an English mastiff. The two fell on a rock along the road, his dog fighting to save his master. The robbers buried the gold, but when they returned to get it, they were attacked by a large blue tick hound. To this day, people say the hound watches over his master's gold. A restaurant and bar takes its name from the blue dog. Okay, next one, Los Angeles, California. The Los Angeles Pet Cemetery is a 10-acre memorial park in Calabasas, California. It's home to the famous and not-so-famous deceased pets of California. Among the animals here, Tawny, the MGM lion, one of the Petey's from the Little Rascals movies, Hopalong, Cassidy's horse, Topper, and Kabar, Rudolph Valentino's dog. Kabar was Valentino's Great Dane. It said when the matinee idol died in 1926 in New York, Kabar suddenly let out a horrible howl. He was 3,000 miles away at the time. Kabar died in 1929 and was laid to rest in the cemetery. Since then, visitors to the pet cemetery report hearing barking and panting near Kabar's grave. Some say they've even been licked on the hand.
Ooh, that's creepy.
That is creepy. All right. Next one is from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania is allegedly one of the most haunted places in America. The city is the site of the bloodiest campaign in the American Civil War. Thousands of people died, and so did at least one dog. Confederate General William Barksdale was wounded while leading a charge. I know, right? Was wounded while leading a charge and brought to the Humble-Baugh house. He died at the house, and some say his voice can still be heard in the house. Another story says Barksdale's wife traveled to Gettysburg to bring back her husband's body, and she brought his hunting dog with her. When the dog was taken to his master's grave, he laid on the ground and started to howl. Aww. Even after Barksdale's body was exhumed, the dog could not be moved from the spot, even for food. He died there. People say the dog still lingers on the ground of the Humble-Baugh house, and on the anniversary of Barksdale's death, he howls in mourning. Barksdale. Next one, New Orleans, Louisiana. The Beauregard Keys house has been stranding. That must be standing, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay, has been standing, not stranding, standing in the New Orleans French Quarter since 1826 and has more than a few ghosts. But two particularly fluffy spirit animals stand out. Lucky was the dog of author Frances Parkinson Keyes, a Cocker Spaniel. Lucky died a few days after her master died in 1970, but Lucky still appears at the house, particularly in rooms Keyes kept at the home. Some would tell you Lucky's not alone. Other animal ghosts may be in the home too, including a white cat that's been seen darting through the house. The cat, named Caroline by the house's caretakers, will apparently rub against people's legs. That would also be creepy.
Yes, it would.
Next one, Holly, Michigan. The Holly Hotel has numerous ghosts. One of them appears to be Leona, a terrier belonging to the Hearsts, who first owned the hotel. The dog can be heard running through the halls and brushing up against people's legs. The hotel is now a restaurant. Next one is Scaponia Park in Oregon. In Veronia, Oregon, there's a story from the 19th century about a horse thief who met his end along the banks of the Nahelm River at the hands of a lynch mob. Apparently, the mob was so angry at the thief that they shot his dog as well. Campers now at Scaponia Park have seen the thief and his dog wandering along the river. Charleston, South Carolina. Pugin lived in a large Victorian house in Charleston. He loved to sit on the porch of the house. When the house was turned into a restaurant in 1976, Pugin stayed at the house and greeted diners. Pugin, I'm assuming is a dog. It doesn't say. Yeah, it says a pup. He died in 1979 and was buried next to his porch. But to this day, employees say they see Pugin napping on his spot on the porch, and some diners report feeling him brush against their legs while they eat, as if begging for table scraps. The restaurant's name is Pugin's Porch. Please remember, always be kind to animals and adopt, don't shop.
Cool.
That's our beautiful beast segment for the week. So thank you, Chris, for that. All right. I have a stupid joke. What's the difference between an oral thermometer and a rectal thermometer?
I don't know.
The taste.
Ew! Gross.
Okay, and I have some facts that is highly possible I've already read before. That goes for my stories as well. I don't know. So we'll just have to hear these again if I've read them. I don't know. Okay, so first one. 35% of people are born without wisdom teeth.
I don't have any.
You don't?
Or do I? Well, I do, but they never came in, I guess.
Oh, well then you don't. Right?
I mean, when you look at an x-ray, you can see them.
Oh, so do you think there are people with none?
I guess. I don't know.
Huh.
I thought that's what that said.
Well, I thought it meant like they just didn't come through.
Oh.
Like yours. Weird. I don't know. If there's a dentist out there listening, let us know. Okay, next one. As we continue to evolve, scientists believe that fewer and fewer humans will be born with wisdom teeth or appendixes or even little toes. So we're still evolving, I guess.
Oh, I think we're always evolving. But,
right.
And that would be getting rid of stuff we don't need anymore.
Yeah.
Or if we ever did need it, I don't know.
The American Psychiatric Association's DSMV handbook classifies caffeine withdrawal as a mental disorder. So drink your coffee, people. Catnip affects lions and tigers, too. Aww. In the 1870s, a Belgian village attempted to train a fleet of 37 official male cats to deliver letters.
Oh my gosh.
It did not work.
Really? I'm so shocked.
Cats cats do whatever the fuck they want. Whatever the fuck they want. Next one. The cotton candy machine was invented by a dentist.
Oh.
I'm telling. 12% of sleepers dream in black and white.
How many percent?
12.
Oh, that's it? I thought it was more than that.
Yeah, that's what it says. Zebras' coats are just black. Their undercoat has white stripes.
Huh?
I don't know. I guess we can see through their black coats.
Well, that's what I was thinking. It's like, okay, I could see it the opposite way, but not...
I don't know. It's just, it says it on this piece of paper here.
Well, it's got to be true.
It's got to be true. Okay. If you open your eyes in a pitch black room, the color you'll see is indigo. Something.
What?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what it says.
I don't think so.
Okay, I couldn't pronounce it.
So we're just like totally skipping words now?
No, I said it.
No, you didn't. All I heard was
Okay, then you weren't listening. Anyway, next one. If your dog's feet smell like corn chips, you're not alone. The term Frito feet was coined to describe the scent.
Ew!
Taryn always says that about the dogs. I'm like, what are you talking about? So she must smell it. I don't. Next one. Sweden's Left Party has a campaign to make men sit when they pee. The campaign isn't going very well.
Why?
Be like, come on, it's fun, sit. I don't know, maybe because of the mess. I don't know.
Stupid.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Next one. In 2008, Carl Mosa Dioncio strung together 18,500 latex condoms and used them to bungee jump from a 100-foot tower.
What an idiot.
Holy shit, that's a lot of confidence in some condoms.
Yeah.
Because that shit breaks.
Yeah.
In 2009, a study found that when men interact with attractive women, they may become, quote, cognitively impaired. Further studies found
that was all the time.
Further studies found that the mere thought of talking to a pretty girl increases the man's likelihood of saying something really, really stupid.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
They've done studies, people. Studies. Okay. In 2008, the UK's Susie Hewer knitted a scarf while running a marathon. It was 5 feet 2 inches long.
Why?
Not sure. But New York Times illustrator Christoph Niemann doodled 46 sketches in color while running the New York City Marathon.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe they were bored. I don't know.
This one so stupid.
Oh my gosh.
The human race is just...
Oh, listen to this one.
Oh no.
The FBI investigated the song Louie Louie because the agency thought the lyrics were dirty. After 3 months,
Oh my God.
the FBI abandoned the investigation because they couldn't make out the words. The FBI.
Oh my God.
I think that's the scariest thing I've ever read on our podcast.
Oh, wow.
After 3 months,
I couldn't figure out.
oh my God. Crazy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Next one, German chocolate cake isn't German. It's named for Sam German, an American baker.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The national animal of Scotland is the unicorn.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I don't know. Next one. All the characters on The Simpsons have 4 fingers, with one exception, God.
Interesting.
Yeah. Next one. The best man's original purpose was to serve as an accomplice in case the bride needed to be kidnapped from disapproving parents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the bridesmaid tradition started because people believed that dressing everyone up in the same clothing would confuse evil spirits.
Oh my gosh.
Next one, PETA once asked the Pet Shop Boys to consider changing their names to the Rescue Shelter Boys.
Oh no. Are you serious?
Pet shop. They don't like pet shops. Adopt, don't shop.
Rescue.
Rescue Shelter Boys.
That doesn't even sound good.
No. Well, honestly, Pet Shop Boys? Like, what is that? Anyway, I don't even know who that is. I just thought it was funny.
I think they're old.
Oh. I don't know.
80s maybe? I don't know.
Hey.
Well,
I was born in the 80s. I'm not old. Maybe a little, but... Anyway, next one. The first sales pitch for the Nerf ball was, Nerf, you can't hurt babies or old people.
oh my god.
Shoot away! Okay, I think I got 2 left, yeah. Next one, homosexuality was still classified as an illness in Sweden in 1979. Swedes protested by calling in sick to work, claiming they felt gay. That's genius. I think I'm really gay today, so I can't. It's an illness.
That's great.
And my last one, the female G-spot was nearly named the Whipple Tickle after Professor Beverly Whipple.
Oh my gosh.
Whipple Tickle. I think that's a fantastic name. It makes it sound so much more exciting.
Whipple Tickle.
Okay, those are my facts for the week.
Okay, this week I did Ghosts of Arkansas.
All right.
So the first one is Peel Mansion. Peel Mansion was built in 1875 by Samuel Peel, and it is now said to be haunted by both Samuel himself and his daughter Minnie Bell. Minnie Bell is commonly cited as a woman in white wandering around Peel Mansion, and she is often heard playing the piano just as beautifully as she did in life, although it is said that if anyone enters the room while she is playing, then the music will abruptly stop. Samuel Peel, who was at one time a United States congressman, is also said to haunt his former home, and his spirit has been seen in various parts of the house. Peel Mansion embraces its reputation as one of the most haunted places in Arkansas, and even hosts ghost walks every Tuesday and Thursday, which culminate in a dinner.
Well, that's very nice.
Yeah.
I'd want to go.
I would go. Jacksonville High School. One of the most well-known ghost stories in Arkansas is probably the Mumbling Man.
Ooh, that's creepy. No.
This is a story about a male spirit who haunts Jacksonville High School. The story goes that this man haunts the auditorium of the high school. People have reported hearing strange noises in the auditorium that cannot be explained, the most common being the sound of a male voice mumbling away to himself when nobody else is in the room. It is also common to hear footsteps walking on the catwalk above the stage, again when nobody is actually there.
Okay, that would be kind of creepy if he wasn't a ghost.
Well, yeah,
Someone mumbling to themselves.
Yeah.
But, oh gosh, that's so creepy.
The Clayton House. The Clayton House is listed on the National Registry of Historic Places. It was once home to William Henry Harrison Clayton, and over the years it has come to be one of the best-loved buildings in all of Arkansas. The house was completely restored to its former glory in the 70s, and it is now like stepping back in time when you visit. There are even several priceless Clayton family belongings on display in this house. Former Clayton House director Martha Seiler claimed to have started having paranormal encounters quite soon after starting work at the house. She's described how one particular bedroom on the second floor seems to terrify everyone who visits, and that people report hearing door slamming and boot stomping up the hall, along with music emanating from empty rooms. She also claims to have seen the apparition of a woman dressed in a linen shirt and brown skirt appearing in Mr. Clayton's study.
I kind of want to experience something like that, or go to a place where they say that, because I don't think I've ever, I've gone into places and like maybe felt a little uncomfortable, or, like the energy may have changed a tiny bit or something, but I've never experienced like being terrified of something.
Yeah.
Like, just because it's a room. I would like to go there where people experience that and see if I have any, like
Basin Park Hotel. The Basin Park Hotel in Eureka Springs is certainly proud of its spooky reputation, to the point where they use "Boo at the Basin" as one of their slogans. Many of the guests who come to stay actually do so purely to have the chance of snapping a picture of one of the Arkansas ghosts that call the Basin Park Hotel home. The most commonly cited ghosts at the hotel include a translucent young woman who is described as having steel blue eyes and cotton candy-like blonde hair, and also the spirit of a little girl with pigtails and a yellow dress. Orbs of light are also a common occurrence around the hotel, and objects often move seemingly of their own accord.
Again with the eyes thing. I wonder if they glow or something. I don't know.
The Basin Park Hotel runs ghost tours every Friday and Saturday night, guided by two mediums who not only explore the hotel in search of ghosts, but who will also offer a rundown of the hotel's haunted history. The Allen House. The Allen House in Monticello is apparently haunted by former owner Joe Allen, who built the property, but he is not the only spirit that is clinging to the place that they once called home. In fact, the ghost that is spotted most often is actually that of his daughter, Liddell Allen, who is believed to have committed suicide in the property by drinking cyanide. After her death, Joe moved the rest of the family out of the building, and it was converted into smaller, more affordable apartments. It was when this construction began that people started to report seeing Liddell's ghost. A doctor who lived in the house at one time did not hold much stock in ghost stories, and told people that rumors of the hauntings were nothing but silliness. However, he was forced to eat his words after developing some photographs he had taken of the house, and finding a very clear image of Liddell Allen in one of the mirrors in the house.
Ew, no.
Creepy. The Crescent Hotel. The Crescent Hotel sits at the very highest point in the county, overlooking the Eureka Springs and the Ozark Mountains. It has retained much of its Victorian character and boasts a rich history that is peppered with ghost stories. In fact, it is not only one of the most haunted places in Arkansas, but it is also regarded as one of the most haunted hotels in the entire United States.
Holy shit. Yeah, a lot of the ghost shows have been there.
Mm-hmm. The hotel is actually said to have several different ghosts, and staff are constantly hearing reports of unexplained activity from various rooms in the hotel. An apparition was actually photographed by a guest in room 202, while in room 218, guests have reported seeing full-body apparitions as well as feeling strange sensations and hearing unexplained noises. There have also been reports of a ghostly nurse pushing a gurney down the hall and through a solid wall in the middle of the night. This fits in with some interesting history, as the property was once a retreat for cancer patients. Magnolia Hill Bed and Breakfast. The Magnolia Hill Bed and Breakfast can be traced all the way back to the early 1900s, when it served as the private residence of Captain Charles Moore Sr. Over the years, guests have experienced a variety of unexplained activity, including unexplained noises, disembodied voices, and other weird occurrences. The property has even been featured on some popular paranormal television programs. Inn at Carnal Hall. When it was built back in 1905, the Inn at Carnal Hall was a woman's dormitory. Today is one of the most haunted hotels in Arkansas. Guests spending the night in one of the hotel's 50 rooms have reported a variety of spooky encounters. The most common reports are sightings of a woman with a head or feet floating in midair dressed in a white gown. Guests have also reported indentations appearing on their bed as though someone just sat down on it. There are also unexplained noises, flickering lights, and a number of photographs have been taken that show an apparition reflected in the polished surface of the furniture.
Oh my gosh.
The Empress of Little Rock Bed and Breakfast. There are at least 4 different spirits that are alleged to be haunting the Empress of Little Rock Bed and Breakfast. The first is the ghost of an African-American maid who is said to be spotted in the maid's closet. There's also the apparition of a well-dressed gentleman wearing a humbug hat who appears on the stairs, and the lady in pink who stands in the hall outside the guest rooms. Finally, an old sea captain has been seen in a number of the rooms. Aside from the apparitions, there have also been reports of phantom footsteps, disembodied voices, and other ghostly phenomenon. Park Hotel. The Park Hotel in Hot Springs is another one of the most haunted hotels in Arkansas. There is no one specific entity who haunts the building, but guests and employees alike have had paranormal encounters here. It is very common for people to feel as though something is brushing past them in the hotel corridors, and many guests say that they have experienced being touched or poked by some unseen presence during their stay. Capitol Hotel. There are 2 ghosts that are reported to haunt Little Rock's Capitol Hotel. The first is the spirit of a laborer who more or less killed him. Wait, that's totally wrong. The first is the spirits of a laborer who more or less keeps himself to himself. The second, the most prolific, is the ghost of a young woman who apparently fell to her death from one of the upper floors. She has been heard, apparently, over the hotel, wailing and screaming. She often makes an appearance in guest rooms and has been known to move their luggage around. Arlington Resort Hotel. If you ask the staff at the Arlington Resort Hotel if it is haunted, they will fiercely deny any paranormal activity. However, guests will tell a very different tale. Not only do wine bottles have a habit of jumping off the shelves when nobody is near them, but there have been persistent reports of a number of different apparitions throughout the hotel. Guests have reported a number of apparitions wandering the hallways and lobby dressed in old-fashioned clothing who vanish into thin air. Among these apparitions is a lady in a wedding dress who stares out the windows into the street, perhaps waiting for her bridegroom who never shows up. The ghost of a man in a black suit is often seen wandering into the hotel laundry and will wave at anyone who spots him. There is also a ghostly bellhop wandering the 4th floor and a little girl in a pink dress in the lobby. Guests have also reported lights flickering, taps turning on and off by themselves, disembodied laughter, and the feeling that someone has brushed against them when there is nobody around. Room number 824 seems to be a particular hot spot, and people say there's an evil presence there. It makes you wonder just how long staff can deny the presence of ghosts at the Arlington Resort Hotel.
Creepy.
That's all I got.
All right. This week I did experiences that people have had that made them think they were losing their minds. And again, I'm pretty sure I've read at least one of these before, so. Anyway.
Well, your facts, I don't think you've read those before.
Oh, well, good. Okay, first one. I had 2 bananas connected at the stem part, broke them into 2, ate one, threw the peel out, came back for the other one, and it's gone. I live alone. Either I have a rotting banana somewhere in my apartment, or I've gone crazy. Weird.
Probably accidentally threw it away or something.
Probably, but you would think you would look in the trash, just, Anyway. Next one. My cat hated me for the first 7 years we had him. He was a feral cat that was tamed by my wife and only accepted affection from her. My wife assured me that this was common for ferals. Then one day he suddenly warmed up to me and wanted me to pet him. We've been best friends ever since. This was approximately 4 years ago, about the time that my wife's brain cancer was becoming aggressive. Even before we were aware of it, she died 2 years ago. It was like he knew it was just going to be the 2 of us one day.
Aww. That's so sad.
I know. Next one. When I was a kid between 8 or 9, I used to wake up every night to headlights coming through my bedroom window. The lights would then stop and turn off, not as if the car drove by, but as if they were turned off. Then the long shadows of a man would be looking through my window. It would pass by and stop in front of my window. I would lay really still and pretending nothing was happening every night for months. Eventually, I convinced myself it was my imagination. Now that I think back, it stopped when my stepdad moved in. My mom was single, but I was convinced it wasn't real. Across the street lived my best friend, whose mom was also single, and she refused to sleep in her bedroom. Her window faced my window. She told me years later that it was because every night a man would park in her side yard and walk over to my yard. The long shadows were from the light in her yard. She eventually decided it was my dad checking on us and never told me until I was a teenager. It wasn't my dad, I asked him.
That's creepy.
Yeah, so some dude was walking over there and
it stopped when
the stepdad moved in.
So it either stopped because he was the one that was doing it or because there was a man in the house.
Right.
Now.
Yeah. Creepy. Okay, next one. I'm the type of person who keeps my bedroom door closed and locked all the time, no matter what, even if I'm home alone. So like a year ago, it was 1 a.m. and I decided to get a glass of water before going to bed. After coming back in my room, I swore that I closed and locked my door. After about 30 minutes of me dozing in and out of sleep, I suddenly felt all the ambient noise completely dissipate, and I immediately got that something feels off feeling. I got up and saw my door was wide open. It scared the shit out of me because I was home alone. I've chalked it up to being a one-time mishap on my part. That is creepy. I just got chills. If you have a routine that it's just something that you automatically do.
Yeah, you're going to automatically do it.
Exactly.
And you're not going to remember doing it because it's just automatic.
Yeah. But
like me locking myself out of the house the other day.
Like, yeah. But this person would not be able to fall asleep with the door open.
Yeah.
If they're not used to that at all, they wouldn't have been able to go to sleep. So there's no way they left that door open. That's so creepy. Next one, I used to live in an apartment kind of place on campus with 3 other people. We all had our separate bedrooms, but shared a living space. It was on the 7th floor to give a better idea. Once I woke up around 2 a.m. to find that my phone was automatically playing a song. I closed the app, but it happened 2 or 3 more times. I would have put this down to my phone being weird, but then one of my roommates told me the exact same thing happened to her as well. This wasn't all. A few days later, I woke up to a beeping sound coming from my phone, and when I checked it, it was apparently a sound recording. The duration showed it as 0 minutes, though, which meant that it shouldn't technically play at all. I deleted it immediately. Another time, my roommate and I were watching a movie and had stayed up until 3. It ended and she went to sleep. After a few minutes, she burst into my room and asked me what I was doing. I was confused because I was just laying in bed reading. She said that she heard very weird noises coming from the window, which she assumed I was making to scare her. I went to her room and it sounded like heavy breathing or sighing.
Ugh.
I told her it was just the wind. We opened the window and saw that the trees, etc., were completely still. That's creepy. Next one, I worked at a small retail shop that sold mostly small accessories and clothes. I have never really believed in ghosts, but my coworkers always swore the place was haunted. Lights would flicker randomly, and canvases would fall violently to the ground, despite my efforts of propping them up so that they didn't. The thing that really made me question everything was when I was closing alone one night. We had a sunglass display in the middle of the store, just a flat glass shelf with a bunch of sunglasses laid out nicely on top. I walked past it to the register and heard this huge crash. I looked back and all the sunglasses were on the floor. It looked like somebody had just took their arm and dragged it across the shelf, pushing them all off. There wasn't anything above the display, so nothing could have knocked it off. I don't have an explanation for it. It was right as I was about to close, too, so he was a rude ghost. Next one, I dreamed it was dark, raining, and I was in the woods walking towards a campfire. There were 3 men around it whom I had never seen before. One was wearing a shirt and pants with huge white and black horizontal... Oh my God. One was wearing a shirt and pants with huge black and white horizontal stripes on it, such as a prisoner might wear. I could not figure out why I was not scared in my dream. Fast forward 10 months later, we were hunting and camping. A friend brings along 3 of his friends that we had never met before. I have to go to the bathroom, and my husband walks with me because it's dark. We start back, and it starts to rain. We get to the clearing, and there were his 3 friends around the fire, one wearing the outfit described above. I wasn't afraid in my dream because my husband wasn't behind me and I just couldn't see him. No one believes me. Did you understand that?
No.
She wasn't afraid in her dream of these men because her husband was actually behind her, which she didn't see him in her dream, so she wasn't scared.
Okay.
So, but she had dreamed that scenario.
Why would
Before.
he be wearing a striped outfit?
I think that's just what he was wearing.
Oh.
He was just wearing a striped shirt.
Oh. Okay.
But that stood out to her, so she remembered it.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, next one. I was playing with our dog in the living room. At the time, I was around 9 years old. We were doing our usual only play like this when mom isn't home, or else she'll tell us to stop type of playing. So basically, playing fetch in the living room. At one point, I threw the toy, which caused it to ricochet out of the living room and into the kitchen. Franz was our dog. He chased it and disappeared around the corner to get it. At that exact moment, the front door opened and my mom walked in with Franz on a leash after a 2-hour walk over to the beach and dunes. I tried to explain, but couldn't. I played with him for at least 15 minutes in apparently my imagination, but I just don't believe that.
Oh my god.
I got chills.
I got chills too.
What the fuck?
Is that a doppelganger dog?
I don't know.
Ew.
Crazy. Okay. Next one, talking with my son when he was 3 or 4 years old while he was playing with a Darth Vader toy in his mom's lap. Talking about the Wiggles or Barney or whatever. Completely unprompted, he said nonchalantly, "Dingo cold, dingo cold," and goes back to playing with his Star Wars toys. I asked him what he said, and he denied saying anything with a giggle. My wife very clearly heard him say Dingo cold, too. I never told him about my childhood best friend, Dingo, being killed in an avalanche 10 years earlier.
Oh my god.
Dingo cold. That's creepy. Okay. Next one. At least 6 times in my life, I've gone home. I know I locked the door, but when I'm about to put my key in the door, it opens like someone was expecting me, but there's no one there. It's happened at my mom's house, my house, and other people's houses. I was helping my buddy move into his new house, and when we came back with more stuff, I had to pee, so I ran to the front door, and it opened. When he came in, he said he had locked it before we left. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's a superpower.
That'd be kind of cool.
It would, especially if you have to pee.
I know.
You're like, hey, thanks. Next one, me and my cousin seeing the same woman in white floating in our grandparents' living room. Grandma says it was her friend who died during World War II.
Oh.
Creepy. Next one, sleep paralysis. A few years ago, I was dreaming I was talking to a friend of mine. So far, nothing weird. But then, for some reason, I realized that I was in a dream and the person I was talking to with technically wasn't my friend. Suddenly, their appearance turned to black and I felt them pushing me down and holding me down in my bed. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. At this point, my cat woke up and jumped on me as if to protect me. Then the dark silhouette or whatever that thing was vanished and I woke up. I swear I had red marks on my shoulders where that thing was holding me down in my dream.
Ooh.
That's creepy. And my last one, my wife and I had a 2-hour drive back from St. Louis to our house during which both of us lost time, woke up 3 hours later, still an hour and a half away from home, only having used enough gas to go that half hour. Having used enough gas to go that half hour, and our GPS showed that we had been driving our normal route. We still have no fucking idea what happened, but we know we hadn't pulled over, and that neither of us had any memory between taking an exit and seeing this particular billboard for a restaurant we always pass. Still freaks me the fuck out.
Weird.
That is weird. And that actually goes along with my stories I did last week.
Mm-hmm.
That losing time shit is scary. Like, what the fuck? 3 hours? They just, what, we're sitting there staring?
Oh, I don't know.
Because they didn't use the gas.
Yeah.
They didn't, go off of their route. What the fuck? That's so creepy. Those are my stories for the week.
All right. It's time for the witty wrap-up.
Yay, witty wrap-up!
I got these from fmylife.com.
Yay.
Today I was being driven to get my wisdom teeth removed, and I was panicking all the way there. When we got to the office, I was told that I'd been brought in on the wrong day and that I have to do this all over again tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
Fuck my life.
That sucks.
Today, my husband received the antique samurai sword that he bought on Craigslist with $399.99 of our money.
Oh, no.
He only shared my outrage at the waste of the money when he opened the package, only to find a toy sword along with a note saying, "Ha ha, trolled."
Oh, my God. Oh, that's so shitty. Oh, my God.
$400 and he got a toy sword. That's horrible.
Oh, my gosh.
Today I came to school really sick because I had to take an important exam. After I finally finished, I accidentally sneezed on my answer sheet right before turning it in. The teacher refused to take it.
No, my God. Man, put some gloves on. That's not cool.
That is not cool. Spray it with some Lysol. Come
Seriously.
on. Today I went out to get groceries and ice cream. When I got home, I couldn't find my house keys. I retraced my steps, but with no luck, so I returned home and had to break in. While unpacking, I found my keys in the bag right next to the completely melted ice cream.
Oh, motherfucker. Why? They must not have a car or something.
Oh, no.
Because why would you put your house key separate from your car key?
Yeah. Today I found out my wife is pregnant. The problem is she convinced me to get a vasectomy 2 years ago.
Motherfucker. What a bitch.
Today I finally noticed that my wife only shaves her bush when she goes on business trips.
Oh, that's not good. Red flag, red flag. Oh.
Today I was walking down the street and saw a man trip over a sign. He then grabbed his cane, started screaming, and began beating the sign. Apparently, that didn't release his anger, so he began to beat the nearest car.
Oh, shit.
I thought it was hilarious until I noticed it was my car.
Oh, shit.
That's what you get. Laughing.
Oh, I would totally laugh, though. That's hilarious.
Today I ran into an attractive friend of a friend I hadn't seen since a night out last month. I tried my best to be friendly and interesting, but he still seemed awkward. Later I found out that the last time he saw me, I was blind drunk and vomiting after having propositioned him all evening.
Oh, no. Oh, that's embarrassing.
Today I called the campus police anonymously while my roommate was away and told them about her weed stash because I was tired of her smoking in our room all the time. She had brought her weed to a friend's and got off scot-free. I have a hearing Monday for the Adderall they found in my desk.
Oh, shit. Oh, that blew up in your face.
Today I was in the change room at the local YMCA. I went to use the hairdryer but couldn't because a naked old man was bent over, butt cheeks spread wide with his hands and ass aimed at the dryer.
Ew.
He seemed to be enjoying it.
Oh, God.
Gross.
No.
Today I got stuck in the snow in the middle of the street. As I was just beginning to get myself unstuck, the snowplow came by and buried the front end of my car.
Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. That's on. I saw a clip on YouTube, kind of like that. This guy, it's like fast, and he's shoveling the snow from his, he gets the sidewalk, he gets his front porch and his walkway, and he walks up the steps to go back in, and a snowplow comes by, and he's like, motherfucker.
Today, the driver's side mirror of my car was smashed off and laying on the ground. On the window was a $75 ticket for improper equipment for not having a mirror.
Oh my gosh. What an asshole move, cop.
Really.
$75. That's bullshit.
And he saw it laying on the ground.
Exactly. It's not like he was driving around with it like that. What a dick.
Yeah. Today, looking to hire new tech support members, but due to not looking over any resumes, my ex-wife is now one of our potential candidates.
Oh, shit.
Today, the mall got evacuated while I was getting my hair colored. I am now standing outside of a crowded mall wearing a shower cap.
Oh, shit. Worst time to get evacuated.
Today, my boss called me furious about how I never answer my phone, especially when important clients are trying to reach me, and how unprofessional I am. I make very sure to never miss any calls. My boss just keeps giving out the wrong number to people.
Oh, nice. What a dick.
Today, while flirting with a cute nurse at my dad's bedside, I accidentally let out a noxious fart, and she thought the foul smell came from my sleeping father soiling himself. I let her roll him over and check his ass while he cried out in pain because I wasn't man enough to own up to it.
Oh my fucking God. Who would do that? Who would own up to that? Oh my God. I guess depending on how much pain your father's in.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And my last one. Today I found out that my doctor wasn't kidding when he said sudden diarrhea may occur with my new medication. I learned this while walking my dog a mile away from my house.
Oh no! Oh no! My God. Oh, well, I hope everyone's having a better day than those people. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Keep spreading the word about our podcast. We need more listeners. We need you to send in stories. That would be great. That way I don't have to second guess myself about if I've read it before. goalsnightoutpodcast@gmail.com. Look us up on Facebook. You can request to join. You know what I mean. Request to join the group. Rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen, and we will talk to you. Oh, we're doing the documentary next week, which we chose a documentary on Hulu called Bigfoot Girl. So, if you guys just want to watch it, or even the trailer is fantastic.
It's very dramatic.
Yes. It's going to be great. So watch that.
You should watch the trailer first.
Yes. And then we will discuss next week.
Yes.
I can't wait. We'll do that next week. And we'll talk to you then.
Later.
Bye.